5 years ago, I had this dream of starting a YouTube channel. I had a camera, some cocktail skills, but I didn't have a set, and I wanted one. So I thought I would wait until I could build the perfect studio. But my girlfriend told me if you wait until everything is perfect to do something, you'll never do anything. So I listened to her, I bought a light, and I started filming in my kitchen. It was not perfect, but she was right. At least I had started it and I was building something. But then life got a little bit complicated. With COVID, our international move, our hard time finding a place to settle. But today, 5 years later, after more than 300 videos shot in 3 different countries in 7 different sets, I can finally reveal what I had in mind when I was dreaming of that perfect YouTube studio. So my friends, welcome back to the channel. This is the first video that we shoot here in this beautiful new YouTube studio, and I'm ecstatic because it looks exactly how I was dreaming about it when I first started this YouTube journey. So I feel like celebrating, and to do so, we're gonna do it with 3 champagne cocktails. So without further ado, go grab your bottle of bubbles, your shaker, your mixing glass, and let's make 3 bubbly cocktails. Let's go. The first one that we're gonna make today is the Old Cuban. This one is literally a crowd pleaser, created in 2001 by Audrey Saunders. It's a modern classic, and it's basically a mojito that meets a champagne cocktail. It is extremely refreshing, super tasty, and very easy to make. So we're gonna start right away in our cocktail shaker with 8 to 10 mint leaves. To that, we're gonna add 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of Havana Club 7 years old. If you're in the US and can't get that rum, something like Bacardi 8 will do just fine. So then we're gonna add 3/4 ounce of simple syrup, 1 full ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, and a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters. Then we simply add ice and shake. I'm gonna fine strain in a chilled cocktail coupe. And then we're gonna top it with a couple of ounces of dry sparkling wine. Here I'm using a cava, which is made pretty similarly like how champagnes are made. But as long as you use a dry sparkling wine, it's gonna be perfect. For the garnish, we're simply gonna add 1 mint leaf on top. And there you have it, my friends. The Old Cuban. Cheers. This cocktail hits the spot every single time. We get that beautiful rum flavor up front. The sweet and sour is perfectly balanced. That nice mint flavor makes you feel like you're having a mojito, but super fancy because of the bubbles. The sparkling wine also makes the cocktail very lively and festive. I love an Old Cuban any time of the year. It is just a wonderful cocktail. I feel like downing this right away, but I won't because we have 2 more cocktails to make. Speaking of which, let's make the Prince of Wales. This one, a little bit like the Old Cuban, is another classic that meets the champagne cocktail, but here we're talking about the improved whiskey cocktail. So there's no citrus involved, so it's even closer to a champagne cocktail. So the Prince of Wales cocktail was created by the Prince of Wales himself, King Edward VII. But the recipe that we're gonna make today is an adaptation of David Wondrich's recipe that you can find in his book, Imbibe. So first, in a shaker, we're gonna add 1 wedge of pineapple. Using a muddler, we're gonna pulverize that fruit. In this recipe, and actually in almost all cocktails I make with muddled fruits, I prefer to muddle the fruits before adding any other liquid. That way, it's just gonna make it easier for you to catch the pieces of fruit. Otherwise, they tend to float with the alcohol or the juice. And also, it makes it easier for you to see when the fruit is perfectly muddled rather than being submerged into some booze. So now that we've muddled our pineapple, we're gonna add 2 ounces of rye whiskey, 1/4 ounce of maraschino liqueur, 1 teaspoon of simple syrup, and 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Next, we're gonna add ice and shake. Strain it in a beautiful cocktail coupe. and top it with 2 ounces of dry sparkling wine. For the garnish, we're gonna express a little bit of lemon oil over the cocktail and add a little piece of pineapple. So there you have it, my friends, the Prince of Wales cocktail. Cheers. The tropical and fruity notes of the pineapple, while being pretty subtle, really elevate this cocktail. It reminds me a little bit of the Sealback cocktail. I don't know if you're familiar with this one or if you watched the video I've made about it. I'm gonna link it up here. But basically, it's a bourbon and orange liqueur champagne cocktail. But here, instead of orange flavors, we're using maraschino and pineapple. So it is in the same realm, but it's more tropical. It's very refreshing while not being citrusy. So if you don't like tart flavors but still want to quench your thirst this summer, I highly recommend this one. It is fantastic. So now let's end this video with a third one. We're gonna make a drink with absinthe. The Death in the Afternoon was created by Ernest Hemingway, so there's no surprise here that this drink was not for the faint of heart because the man was known for being a heavy drinker. So with 1.5 ounces of absinthe and 4 ounces of ice cold champagne, unless you are really into strong drinks and absinthe, I don't really recommend it. That being said, I love the flavor spectrum of these two ingredients together, but there's a way to make this easier to drink, more enjoyable, and for that I'm gonna steal Anders Ericsson's specs because I believe they just work better. So thank you, my friend, for this recipe. So first, in the mixing glass, we're gonna add 1 ounce or 30 ml of absinthe, 1/4 ounce of 1:1 ratio by weight of simple syrup, and also 1/4 ounce of lemon juice. Then we're gonna add a couple of ice cubes and stir until cold. Then we're gonna strain in a chilled cocktail coupe. And we're gonna top it up with 3 ounces of champagne or dry sparkling wine. I usually pretty much eyeball my champagne tops because I'm pretty familiar with my glassware. But if you're not, and if you don't like to measure your champagne with a jigger because it kind of tends to lose some of the fizz when you do that, you can also measure it by weight. So it's pretty much 1:1. So to add 3 ounces of sparkling wine, you're gonna add 90 grams of your sparkling wine. This one doesn't need no garnish, so there you have it, the Death in the Afternoon and their sway. Cheers. The slight addition of acidity and sweetness just makes this drink so much brighter, but we still get that intense absinthe flavor with the beautiful lightness of the sparkling wine. Really, it's a beautiful way to make this cocktail. I love it, and I hope you're gonna love it too. So my friends, this is it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe before you go. Turn that bell if you want to make sure not to miss the next one. And until then, thank you very much again. Have a great day and see you very soon. Cheers. I have a new app on my phone. I can turn off and turn on the lights remotely.